Welcome seekers, you have made it to the Tarot Magicians channel. My name is Ricky and today I bring you another pick a card tarot reading. Now this one is for what will happen in the week of January 17th through January 23rd of this year, 2022. So we're just going to try and see, what advice, what guidance, what information we're going to get for this week. We're just going to let the cards direct us wherever they want to go. Whatever messages are available for this week for you, that's what we will talk about. Now, before we get started, I do want to remind you, seekers, that I am offering private readings at this time. I've extended the 60% discount on voice readings for winter. So take advantage of that. If you want to place an order, you do have to go through my Etsy store. The link is going to be in the description below. I'm looking forward to working one-on-one with you, seekers. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with today's reading. In front of you, you have three groups. This is group number one, stone number one. We have the amethyst. Okay. So if you're drawn to this stone, this is for group one. We have the dragon seer stone for group number two. If you are drawn to the dragon seer stone, okay, let me see if it comes into focus for us. And there we are. All right, so that's the dragon seer stone. Then we have the turquoise stone at the very end. Okay, see if it comes into focus for us. There we go. All right, so that's group number three. So go ahead, take a moment. I am going to include the timestamps in the description below so that you can fast forward to your group. All right, so make your selections now and I will see you there. Welcome, group number one, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. This is a weekly reading covering the week of January 17th through January 23rd, 2022. And we're just going to see exactly, what information the cards give us, advice, guidance, what will happen for this week. So we're going to go ahead and start with your Oracle card. This is from the Star Quartz Astro Oracle. Now, before we do, just want to remind you, seekers, that I am offering private readings at this time. If you're interested, you will have to go through my Etsy store. I've extended the 60% discount on voice-only readings, so take advantage of that. The link is going to be in the description below to that Etsy store. All right, so let's get started. Your card is, for the week, First House. Oh my, First House Arrival. Card number 39. This card, it's interesting. So, this card is asking you to take action, group number one. It's asking you to take responsibility for how you are perceived this week. So as you walk in through the doors, make sure that you assess what you lead with, what your mannerisms are, appearance and signals say. Notice if you lead with charm or prickly defenses, with your mind or heart, or whether you are versatile, changing your approach to fit the circumstance. So this week, it's up to you to investigate how this first impression affects your identity and interactions. One thing to keep in mind is that people read what you put out, whether you are acting as a business, as a person, or as a couple, and it's up to you to ensure that how you present yourself matches your intention. So, this is a card that's challenging you. You are challenged to see beyond the shallowness of appearances, see behind the smoke screens, and take responsibility for how you are perceived. For this week, it's important for you to evaluate how you interact with the world as the beginning of a journey of self-discovery. So a very powerful card, First House Arrival. Let's go ahead and throw some more. We're just going to go ahead and see what other Oracle cards, what else the Oracle cards are going to tell us. So we're going to start with the Compass, the Inner Compass deck. This is actually a new deck. It's got actually 200 cards. It's pretty astounding. Let me show you guys. 200 cards come in here, but we're going to go ahead and use them because they're just so powerful. We're going to shuffle. I have to actually shuffle literally two decks separately. That is hilarious, right? But what this is going to give us is it's going to give us 3 keywords for the week. And those 3 keywords are going to give us some information about what this week will bring for you. So the first keyword out is romance. Oh, wow. Romance, romance, romance is the first keyword out. To have an exciting, mysterious courtship element in the relationship sector of my life, to feel strong attraction towards another person, and to experience the courtship behaviors undertaken by an individual to express those feelings and resultant emotions. Wow. So it looks like someone, there's going to be a little romance for you this week. For those of you that are already in a relationship, this just means a bit of a spark to that. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys decide to go somewhere special. There's just going to feel like you have more support. There's definitely more love going around for this romantic week for you. Interesting. Now we're going to go ahead and throw another one of these cards. Let's see what the other keyword is. Pride. Okay, pride. And it reads, to perceive myself to be of high value, to have a high estimation of myself, to refuse to do things that would compromise holding myself in high regard, to feel proud of myself, to experience deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from my achievements, qualities, and possessions, a sense of worth, confidence, self-sufficiency, and personal strength. Wow. Excuse me. So this is a very interesting combo here, right? Romance and pride. And we're going to throw one more to try and get a clear, full picture of what this week will bring for you. So here we are, charisma. To process a compelling attractiveness that can inspire devotion in others. To have a magnetic, captivating, alluring, and charming personal quality, or many, that draws people to me. Wow. These three key words are definitely very important here, right? Pride, romance, charisma. So for some of you, you are going to meet someone very special this week. I feel very strongly that some of you are potentially, if you're single, you might attract some kind of romantic partnership this week. Someone might go the extra mile for you. They're gonna show their charisma. They're gonna show just how much they care about you. There's a sense of pride, personal strength, self-sufficiency that's being asked of you for the week. We keep in mind the first house arrival being the theme of the week for this oracle card, right? It's asking you to perceive a little bit more than what's being presented to you, to look behind the mystique, to look behind the smoke screen, to look behind what's being presented, right? So there's more to it. There's more information available to you this week. You are being asked to experience this, to in some ways, go through this process of devotion to understanding a little more about the individual, whoever you interact with for this week. Now, the first house arrival talks a lot about business, business partnerships. It almost feels like potentially some of you, not all of you, but some of you might end up meeting someone in your job, potentially a new hire or someone new that comes into your life. This person is going to, in some ways, you'll definitely know that this person likes you. You'll definitely know there's something there a little bit more than what they're actually willing to tell you, right? So this is very interesting. It feels like for some of you, there's a secret admirer out there. And potentially this week, you might get a little more clarity on who that person is. Now, pride can also be a bad thing, right? Too much pride can be a bad thing. So be very careful with that. And the reason I say that is because the first house arrival warns you of that, right? In some ways, what we revealed and what we saw with this card is that pride comes before a fall. That cliche old saying, pride comes before a fall. So just make sure that you aren't holding any kind of negative reservations about people, or maybe you're not thinking a little too highly of your skills and your accomplishments and where you are right now. It almost feels like you're being asked to just take in everything around you. Do not elevate yourself to a certain level. Don't elevate yourself too high this week. Because you might actually miss out on a little bit of romance if you end up if that's the road that you end up taking. I feel like this week it's time to show a little charisma, right? Being attractive, showing that compelling attractiveness that can inspire devotion, that can inspire romance, right? magnetic, captivating, alluring, charming personality. That's what is being asked of you for this week. More than likely, it's being asked of you because that's what you're going to receive back. You know, I think that a lot of you would like this romance to be definite, to present itself for the week. And I think that in order for that to happen, you have to show a little charisma. All right, so let's go ahead and see what are the other oracle cards telling us. We're going to go ahead and throw a Moonology Manifestation Oracle. We're just going to shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And we're going to throw 2 cards. What are the Moonologies going to tell us for this week? I'm interested. Full Moon in Pisces. Oof, interesting. And then the second card is first quarter moon in Cancer. Wow. So we've got 2 pretty direct messages for the week here. The first message is forgive. This is the week to forgive. Somebody has wronged you. Somebody has done something to you. It's time to forgive. And it's interesting that this card came out positioned right underneath pride, right? So, you know, it could be that someone is showing way too much pride or showing too much pride and you know, you're noticing that, you're upset about that. And, you know, now it's like this is the week where they might put to rest that pride and come and talk to you potentially. Or this could very well just be talking about you. Potentially there's someone that needs to be forgiven in order for this romance to come into your life. And then the second card reads, push through any insecurity. All right, so you're being asked to push through these insecurities. Again, you know, the keyword pride is a big revealer, right? Pride comes before a fall, right? So push through your insecurities. First quarter moon in Cancer. This card is just reminding you to move forward diligently, to not be fearful. If you intuitively feel like something is going on, then you're probably right. So just make sure that you're checking in with yourself for the week. Make sure that you are, in some ways, not allowing fear, insecurities, to keep you in a state of stasis, where you're not moving forward and you're not really accomplishing much. So it feels like this week is a week where there's going to be activity. Things are going to be revealed to you that weren't very evident before, but they're going to be evident now. And for a lot of you, you know, the week has a bit of a romance theme to it. You know, the revelations are going to be with a partner, possibly someone who is secretly crushing on you. So this is very interesting, right? All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw 2 more oracles, and then we're going to throw some tarot. So we're going to start with, and I forgot the name of this deck. Oh, well. I forgot the name of this deck. Sorry. This is, I believe, the Goddess Oracle. Yes, the Goddess Oracle. So we're going to go ahead and see what the Goddess Oracle has for this week. All right, so the 2 archetypes that want to talk to you are, number 1, the Warrioress. Okay, so for this week, the archetype that's going to aid you in your process is the Warrioress. And the Warrioress's message for you is, you have the ability to conquer your fears and faults and the right to defend who you are, who you love, and what you believe in. Wow. It's a powerful message from the Warrioress. And then the second archetype that's going to aid you for this week is the Healer, number 24. Now, the Healer's message to you is, you and possibly someone you care about need to be healed from the effects of past traumas before things can be resolved to your liking. Wow. Interesting. So, you know, everything is kind of tied in, right? Forgiveness, pride, pushing through insecurities. Now you've got the Warrioress here telling you that you have the ability to conquer your fears and your faults and the right to defend who you are and who you love and what you believe in. So this is the week to do that. Let your voice be heard with power and strength. And the Healer, my goodness, you know, this is definitely a card that's talking about resolving conflict and traumas. And the first step to be able to do that is forgiveness. So this is a very interesting theme for you for the week, right? Forgiving, forgetting, moving forward. Very interesting. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw some tarot. This tarot is one of my favorites. It's from it's the Runic Tarot. Let me show you guys the box. It's the Runic Tarot. Love this tarot deck. Viking themed. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle. And we're going to see if we can get some more direct messages of what is going to come for you this week. Very, very wonderful week. We're not going to use that card. All right, Spirit, talk to us. Talk to us, talk to us. What is coming? What is coming? What is coming? My goodness. Group number 1. You know, this is a powerful reading for you guys, okay? A lot of changes coming, and it's going to make you a better person. This is the kind of week that kind of sets you up, you know, for what's coming next. So we start with the Queen of Cups, right? And the Queen of Cups is the perfect representation of a healer, of someone that has in many ways walked through some very negative experiences. They've come out victoriously, and now they're sitting in their throne masterfully, just kind of staring off into the distance, waiting to see what's next. And so the Queen of Cups promises healing, stability, emotional stability. And it's almost like, you know, this is the card that says that you're going to fall in love again. You're going to fall in love with life. You're going to fall in love with people. You're going to fall in love with events. You know, I feel like a lot of you have kind of, you know, regressed. Maybe you've gone into your shell a little bit, and you know, it's due to insecurities. It's due to a bit of fear, and it's also due to a bit of pride. And so this is the week where those layers, that skin starts coming off, and a new person starts arising out of that. So this is the week, my goodness. You know, this is a powerful reading for you guys. And then we end it with the Queen of Swords. My goodness, right? I mean, what a 1-2 dynamic punch. Queen of Cups and Queen of Swords. I mean, whew. It means that this week you're going to be able to have complete control of your mind, your thoughts, and your emotions. You're going to be able to find a way forward. And that way forward is what's going to assist you and aid you in you achieving what you want to achieve. So the Queen of Swords says that mental clarity is going to come to you for this week. That mental clarity will result in a clearing of any kind of emotional problems, emotional issues. That clearing of emotional issues will fully help you understand what's been missing logically. And you're going to be able to in many ways put the pieces together of what you should do next. So the only way that this happens is if you overcome whatever pride, whatever pride is still unfortunately hindering you, that keeps you from moving forward and pushing through in any insecurities, whatever's keeping you from forgiving. If you can push through that, you're going to achieve this. For some of you, I feel like this is talking about the energies that are going to be coming to you. You know, someone is going to forgive you. Someone is going to come and be charismatic and show this romance. And it almost feels like in order for you to have those things, you must become that. So a very interesting reading. That is what I see here. I hope you seekers enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Quick reminder, I am offering private readings at this time. I am going to include the link to my Etsy store in the description. I'm doing a 60% off on voice-only readings. That's going to be for the duration of winter, so take advantage of that, seekers. I'm looking forward to working one-on-one with you. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought about this reading. Thank you so much once again, and I hope you all have a wonderful week in 2022. Bye-bye. Welcome, group number 2, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. Now, before we get started, just want to remind you, seekers, that I am offering private readings at this time. You will have to go through my Etsy store if you're interested. I'm going to include the link in the description below. I am offering 60% off for winter, so that is a special that you seekers can take advantage of. I'm looking forward to working with you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with this reading. This is going to cover the week of January 17th through January 23rd. Advice, guidance, what will happen, etc. So we're going to start with the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck. By the way, you picked the Dragon Seer stone. That's my favorite stone, so interesting. You've got the Moon. Perception is the key word and the word of the week for you. You know, so this card is asking you to first perceive what unspoken emotional inner calling and patterns drive you, okay? Look to your own moon sign. When you cooperate with your moon's emotional motivation, you'll find it easier to walk in harmony with your path for this week. Group number 2. So, investigate the needs and the wants of those around you for the week. The emotions underneath, keep in mind that these are the things that actually run the show, right? So those primary drivers are always expressed through habits and actions, nuance and expression rather than through words. So look for that underground ocean. It carries the soul's energy. Now, the challenge for this week for you is going to be to just look to feelings rather than logic to move whatever situation you're facing forward. Notice any strange responses to anxiety, touchy personal defenses, nepotism, subjectivity, or insecurity, either in your motivation or in those around you. Tend to those fears, tend to the fears that lie underneath those behaviors. You are one with the ebb and flow for this week. Group number 2, watch what side the moon occupies each day and let the moon teach you about its phases. Align yourself with those tides and make your life easier for this week. So let's go ahead and throw some more cards. We're going to see what else the oracle cards want for you to try and manifest and bring for this week. So for that, we're going to use the Inner Compass deck. Now, this is a new deck. You guys are going to be pretty astonished by this. It's a 200 card deck, so you can imagine how hard it is for me to actually shuffle this thing. Look at this, 200 cards. But it is a very powerful deck, a lot of symbolism, a lot of messages. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle and throw 3 cards and see what those keywords, each card has a keyword. What keywords are going to be important for this week? The first one, dependability. The second one, certainty. And the third, faithfulness. Interesting. All right, so we're going to go one by one. These are some very powerful keywords here for you. And we're just gonna go ahead and touch them one by one. So the first one out was dependability, and dependability means to be dependable, reliable, and trustworthy, to be counted on, for people to be able to have confidence in me, my capability, and my follow through. So, you're being asked to be dependable this week. All right. So somebody asks for a favor, somebody tries to reach out. Make sure that you're there, right? Make sure that you're trustworthy. Make sure that you're reliable. Make sure that you're dependable for this week. This is going to help you tremendously. Okay, moving forward, this attitude, this energy will help you tremendously. Now, the second card is certainty. So certainty reads to have the firm conviction that something is the case, to be free from doubt, insecurity, and uncertainty, for things to be definite, to have a life that is certain, right? That's what certainty means. This card is important because I feel like you've been doubting yourself about a situation. You've been doubting yourself for too long. Even though intuitively you've been able to put the pieces together, every time you do, you start doubting those pieces. And so this puzzle's never really fully completed. So what that card is asking you, and what that card is essentially telling you that you're going to bring for this week, is certainty. Certainty of action, certainty of thought. So whatever you are thinking about right now intuitively, whatever you feel might be the case, more than likely it is. So the third card is faithfulness. This one is very interesting. Faithfulness. To be consistent, steadfast, loyal, and true to the commitments I make to others, and therefore to be reliable and trustworthy, to have faith in, to demonstrate resolutely, dutifully, firm and unwavering affection despite difficulties. Wow. So, my goodness. So this faithfulness is tied beautifully with dependability. Okay, so you are being asked to have faith in people this week, have faith in their ability, have faith in what they're telling you. You're being asked to somewhat, not only be dependable, but to actually be present, right? Don't help people, don't assist anyone, don't do anything out of a need for, I need something from you, right? Do it because you know that this is the right thing to do. You know that this is something that is going to, in some ways, help you. It's going to help you mentally, it's going to help you emotionally, it's going to help you physically in many ways. So faithfulness, also faithfulness in a cause, faithfulness in who you are, faithfulness in what you discover. It's these three words are intertwined. certainty, faithfulness, and dependability. They are intertwined. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to throw 2 Moonology cards, and we're just going to see what the Moonology cards are advising for this week. All right, so let's go ahead and shuffle. All right, first card out, second card out. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Interesting. The first group actually got the same Moonology card, forgiveness. So if you were drawn to group number 1, there might be a message there for you. There is definitely a lot of similarities between the groups. Not much, but some. All right, so the first card that you got was a shine. So this is a beautiful card, right? Shine. You're being asked to shine for this week. So, you know, for me, I personally am the kind of person that, you know, when it comes to shine, I can turn it on and turn it off. But sometimes it's better to just turn it off because energetically, I feel a little more recharged. But for this week, you are being asked to shine as much as you can. So, you know, it doesn't mean that you have to go to a party and be the life of that party, right? But shine wherever you can. If you have some kind of maybe social media presence, make sure that you're active. If you have some kind of following, make sure you're active. Make sure that you're checking in with yourself, perceiving what you want, what makes you, what inspires you. Have certainty of what you are doing and creating. Have certainty that somebody wants to listen to it, share it, have faith that it will manifest into something truly great. And yeah, you're just being asked to shine. Don't be the kind of person that just kind of walks through the week as a zombie, you know, not being noticed by anyone. Even though a zombie would probably get noticed by a lot of people, but you get the idea. Forgive is also another word that showed up here. This is very interesting. So this can mean 2 things, okay? This can mean that someone is going to forgive you, all right? Someone is going to forgive you. You know, you've been wanting for them to do this, to forgive you, but unfortunately they have not come around. Or more than likely, you are going to have to forgive someone. Okay, this is the week where forgiveness is going to be present. And so that forgiveness is going to be able to bring about something truly great, right? And it's funny because we have dependability, we have faithfulness, right? You're being asked to be dependable, reliable, and trustworthy for the week. You're being asked to be loyal, steadfast, consistent, and be true to commitments, right? These 2 cards are lining up beautifully. And now you've got forgive. So interestingly enough, you know, you might be the one that forgives and then that person wants a favor from you. And that's very difficult, right? When you have to forgive someone for something that they did and now that person wants something from you, my goodness. I mean, you don't want to do it, right? Why would you? But the cards are telling you to let go of pride, let go of uncertainty, and have certainty that things will work out for the best. Forgive. Shine as much as you can. Be dependable, reliable, trustworthy for the week. Consistent, steadfast, loyal, true to commitments, and make sure that you have an unwavering, dutiful energy for this week. All right. So we're going to go ahead and throw 2 more oracle cards. These oracle cards are from the Goddess Oracle deck. They're essentially archetypes, right? These archetypes, we're going to go ahead and see which 2 are going to accompany you for the week, and what message they have for you to grow and prosper. Wow, you got the Warrioress. Group number 2, again, Warrioress came out for group 1 and the forgiveness card. So I think that there's definitely a message there. If you have the time, make sure that you're watching group number 1. This rarely happens, but if you know, it's aligning perfectly, right? Warrioress and forgiveness came out in group 1. So that, I mean, the odds of that happening are very slim, and they did. So group number 1 might have a message for you. So the Warrioress is going to assist you and aid you for this week. All right. Now, the message of the Warrioress to you is you have the ability to conquer your fears and faults and the right to defend who you are, who you love, and what you believe in. Right? My goodness. So yes, absolutely forgive. Yes, absolutely forget. Be dependable, reliable, and all those things that we've already talked about. But make sure that you are in some ways checking in with that warrior inside of you. Because sometimes, you know, when we have been wronged or when we feel like, you know, things aren't working out for us, we want to try and blame everyone. We want to try and be the shadow side of the warrior, right? and just kind of be argumentative or try and have that energy of conquer, as opposed to working together, as opposed to growth and stability. And so what we have here is a warrior that's telling you that you have the ability to conquer, but that conquer must be your fears, your faults, and also you have the right to defend who you are. So make sure that when you are forgiving, when you are in some ways opening yourself up to someone, if that is the case, make sure that you know that you have the right to defend yourself. So, present your argument, and don't be fearful of it. All right, so interesting. Now, the second archetype is the escapist. Okay, so this is the other card that's going to aid you for the week, and this card's message to you is: you or someone you care about may seek refuge in escapist behaviors when faced with limits, difficulties, or sorrow of some sort. Wow. Again, there is dual meaning, with this reading. It's pretty interesting, but there is dual meaning because, this forgiveness, I'm seeing it both ways. For some of you is you need to forgive someone, and for others is someone is going to forgive you, right? So, for others it's both, right? Both. So interesting enough, the message there is this escapist energy. This message is telling you to avoid this, right? Avoid the energy of escapism. Don't seclude yourself. Don't lock yourself up in a dark room. Don't be the kind of person that just avoids the world for this week. You aren't being asked to do that. You're being asked to shine. You're being asked to perceive. You're being asked to go out and try and gain something. Right? Don't just be the kind of person that escapes from problems, but instead seek for the week. If you're faced with any limits or any difficulties for the week, essentially this card wants you to shine, to move out of that, right? To have certainty that you are doing the right thing and the conviction that things are going to work out, right? So, interesting. Let's go ahead and throw some tarot. We're going to use my favorite tarot deck. It's called the Runic Tarot. All right, so we're going to go ahead and use this deck, and let's see what we get. So let's shuffle first. Shuffle. Hate it when that happens. All right. So what are your tarot cards for the week? What's going to... Wow, you've got the Moon again and the Empress. Oof. Wow. Okay, so this is interesting. All right, these two cards are interesting. The Moon is the card of gaining understanding of illusions, I feel. That's what this card is essentially bringing to understanding here, bringing to light here, right? This is the card where you gain clarity about a situation. This is the time, this is the week where you understand a topic that has been somewhat escaping you. It's the topic that you've been wanting to understand, or it's someone that you've been wanting to read, or it's a situation that you've been wanting to perforate. It's you just want to try and gain clarity and understanding. And so what the Moon is telling you is that it is going to come to you. You are going to perceive it. The Moon keeps showing up for you. Your main theme is Moon, right? Moon. Now you've got the actual tarot card talking about potentially going through a journey of discovery. So let's talk about what the Moon promises. The Moon, in its normal illustration, we see a little crab, and that little crab needs to take a journey, right? Needs to follow a path, and that path is arduous, it's dark, it's scary. And in front of that little crab, there's two wolves that want to devour it. And so those wolves are the fears and the issues and the problems of the world. And you as a little crab are destined to walk through those creatures and find the illumination that you need to move forward. And so this week is going to be a stepping stone towards that. And on the other end of this journey, on the other end of understanding, of perceiving, of things being revealed, you're going to gain clarity to the point where you're going to tap into the Empress energy. So the Empress energy, being the number 3 major arcana, is the card of fruitfulness. It's the card of yielding incredible results. This is the card of the queen that sits in her throne with all the richness of the world, her dreams realized, someone worthy of respect this empress is. And so for many of you, this is your destiny. Your destiny is the empress. There is still a journey that needs to take place. There's a lot of things here that need to be a part of the way that you interact with the world in order for you to be able to reach the empress. So this week is going to be a very important week for you. All right. This is a very interesting reading, group number 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, my favorite stone is a dragon seer stone. So in many ways, this might actually be my reading. So thank you so much for watching. Just a quick reminder, I am offering private readings at this time. So if you are interested, the link is going to be in the description below. It is an Etsy link. I am offering also 60% off of voice readings. I'm extending that through winter. So take advantage of that. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you for your comments, your beautiful word seekers. Thank you. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you. If you have any questions, I've been responding to as many comments as I can. So if you do write a comment, I'm going to try and respond to you. But I'm interested in knowing just what expectations you have for this week and if this reading helped you in any way. So let me know in the comments section. Thank you once again. Love you all, and bye-bye. Welcome, group number 3, to today's Pick a Card Tarot reading. Now, in this Pick a Card, we're going to talk about what is coming next. What is going to happen this week, January 17th through January 23rd, 2022. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you, seekers, that I am offering private readings at this time. I'm offering 60% off discount for winter. That's a winter special off of voice readings. You will have to go through my Etsy store to be able to place that order, so I'm going to include the link in the description below if you are interested. I'm looking forward to working one-on-one with you, seekers. So, thank you. Let's go ahead and get started. The card that you see in front of you is from the Star Code Astro Oracle. Let's go ahead and reveal what this card is. You've got abundance, Jupiter abundance. This is a very, very, very auspicious card for you guys. This card is asking you to think bigger. Think bigger for this week. This scenario requires that you be expansive and forgiving. Deal with it in a spacious, curious, fair, philosophical way. You're being asked to think globally for this week. Bring in contributions from all around the world. Consider traveling physically or traveling with your senses by listening to music from a less familiar culture or tasting their food. Talk to people who grew up in circumstance foreign to you and get their viewpoint. Diversify your perspective and that of your team to discover the missing pieces needed to make up a larger whole. Group number 3, you're being asked to engage, all right? Engage in abundant optimism. Now, Jupiter can bring too much of a good thing as well, or leave people feeling overwhelmed. So watch out for any kind of magical thinking, and Pollyanna avoidance of problems. Make sure that this is front and center. Also, give and you shall receive is the message for this week. Jupiter calls you to expand your worldview. So reach out and feel at one with the whole universe is essentially this card's message to you. Very powerful message. We're going to go ahead and throw some more oracles, and we're going to see what we get. The next 3 oracles are coming from a very interesting deck. This deck is called the Inner Compass deck, and it's got 200 cards. I'm not kidding. 200 cards. Let me show you guys. Look at this. 200 cards, but it's very powerful. All these cards, they bring a keyword and the meaning. So we're going to go ahead and shuffle. I have to shuffle this in parts. And we're going to pick 3 random cards with 3 random keywords, and we're going to see what further messages, what is going to happen, what should the focus for the week be. Let's see. Wow. So some very interesting keywords here, right? Very interesting keywords. Let's go one by one and see exactly. So the first one out was home. home. And so, this card is, it reads to have a place of belonging and comfort. This doesn't necessarily have to be a house. It can be a feeling or a place, a person or experience with whom you feel completely comfortable, and somewhere or someone you can always go to, right? To feel a sense of comfort, belonging, security, and happiness. That relates to or what happens inside the place where you will potentially reside in. Okay, interesting. So, the next card out was respectability. Okay, so this is another very important keyword for the week, respectability, to be honored, respected, and held in credit and high esteem by others. Interesting. And then the final keyword is luxury. And this card reads to live in great comfort and extravagance, the finer things in life, such as delicacy, elegance, or refinement, rather than a necessity, a condition of abundance or a great ease and comfort, a sumptuous experience and environment. So, interesting. Now that we've gone through the three keywords, I get this feeling that you're being asked to take a vacation. You're being asked to potentially go away. You're being asked to explore something new. I know a lot of you might be working and you can't do that, but even if you are working, even if you can't physically do it, it's important for you to try and take a mental break, right? An emotional break. And so, it could mean that whatever it is that you want to accomplish, if it's going to get in the way of your mental clarity, of your peace, of a sense of home and stability, then potentially it might be time to put it aside for this week. Take some vacation, go somewhere that you haven't gone to, make plans to travel, make plans to try something new. These things are going to help you. They're going to help put your mind at ease and in control, which is why I feel that you have this home card showing up, right? This home card, for some of you, it's telling you that you might just need to take some time off and stay home, right? Do some fun things at home, like a staycation. That might be what you need to recharge, to really bring forth the energy of abundance that I feel is very prevalent in you guys, which is why you've got this oracle card. And, you are being asked to also potentially respect other people's desires to do the same thing. So this goes for managers, this goes for supervisors, people that are maybe in a position of power. Respect other people's decision to do this, right? So for some reason it's very important for this to happen for this week. Luxury, to live in great comfort and extravagance. So that just adds to the idea of taking some time off and really enjoying yourself, right? So for some of you, the message is inverted, right? For some, it's telling you to stay home, staycation. That's what's going to recharge you. For others, and this is going to depend on your intuition to pick up on which one of these two. But for others, you're being asked to step away from that home, from the safety of the home, and move out into a more luxurious, abundant state. And what that essentially means is go out somewhere, do something extravagant, right? If you saved enough money, go ahead and spend a little to have some kind of experience that really just lifts you up, right? So very interesting. And it almost feels like if you do this, you're going to gain some kind of level of respect. You're going to gain some level of honor, right? You're going to be respected in your home. So it could be, if you have a family, friends, they're going to really appreciate the fact that you're doing this, to spend maybe some time with them. These things are going to lead you to abundance, interestingly enough. So we're going to go ahead and throw some Moonology cards. This is the Moonology Manifestation, the newer deck that came out. We're going to throw two, and we're going to see what message we get. Wow, okay, so you've got some interesting cards here. We start with Full Moon in Sagittarius, asking you to see the bigger picture, and then we move towards New Moon in Taurus, Know Your Worth. That is interesting, very interesting message. So, first card out, see the bigger picture, right? The reason why this card showed up is because for some reason I just felt it in my stomach. I felt it all over. It's like a lot of you are not happy with this whole take a vacation reading. A lot of you are like, I can't do that, so obviously this is not for me. And, you are being asked to step back and see the bigger picture, okay? Very difficult to do, but there is some underlying foundational pieces that you don't have in place that you need to put in place in order to obtain the abundance that you want. And so for some of you, you're working too hard, you're doing too much, and you need to take a step back. And the thing is that you don't see it. You don't really you don't comprehend it. You don't see how being in luxury and potentially having a trip or some time away is going to aid you and benefit you. That is for some of you. And so you're reminded, see the bigger picture. There's something bigger out there. Life is just one big balance, right? One big scale. If you go to an extreme and you give too much to work, other areas of your life are going to suffer massively, right? So it's about balancing the scales. And I feel that for a lot of you that unfortunately have gone to an extreme when it comes to work, when it comes to responsibility, when it comes to being away from home, it's time for you to balance those scales out, because in the long run, that's what's going to bring you the abundance that you seek. Extremism is never good. It's never rewarded. A centered approach is always the right way, right? And so that's kind of what you're being reminded here, right? And then the second card, know your truth. Know your worth. This card is interesting because I feel that a lot of you are saying to yourselves, I can't stop working. I can't stop doing what I'm doing because that is my value. That is who I am. That is I am that. And so it's like, no, you're not. All right, you're worth far more than your job. You're worth far more than what you think you are. And so you're being reminded of that, right? So think of yourself, think of giving to yourself for this week. Think of buying yourself something luxurious that makes you feel happy, makes you feel like, okay, I've made progress. And when you have these experiences where, you're just, where you're just expected to be happy, but you're not because you feel like you're doing something wrong, right? And you're kind of castigating yourself for not working and taking this time off and you feel guilty. Whenever these things come, whenever you think of this, always remember, see the bigger picture, right? See the bigger picture and know your worth. You're worth far more than you're giving yourself credit for. Doesn't matter if you take that time off. You need it, right? You need it for your mental state, you need it for your emotional state, your physical state, everything. So let's go ahead and see what two archetypes are going to be aiding you for this month. And for that, we're going to use the Goddess Oracle. So let's go ahead and shuffle. And we're going to go ahead and let the Goddess, we're going to throw two cards. We're going to let the Goddess Oracle tell us what information, what archetypes are going to be aiding you for the week. Ooh. All right. Look, you've got the Traveler. That is hilarious. Okay, so the first card is the Manifester. All right, so you've got the Manifester archetype showing up here to provide you with a message for this week. And that message is monitoring your inner dialogue and using quantum affirmations daily can help you to make real your desired life changes. Wow. This is interesting. So you're being asked to practice monitoring that dialogue. And so it's funny because it goes right back to what we've uncovered, right? We just talked about how potentially some of you punish yourselves for taking that time off, or buying yourself something luxurious, or maybe you view just staying home and not working as a luxury, right? So it's important for you to monitor what you really think about, right? Your inner dialogue. How much are you giving to this life? How much energy have you put in believing that you need this hourly job or hourly gig in order for you to actually make ends meet? And how much are you dependent on that thought process, right? Has that thought process killed your dreaming entirely? Has it killed your magic, the ability to see money in front of you, to see the abundance, the money flowing in, to see the things that you want coming to you? Has it destroyed your visualization magic? And so you're being asked to tap into the inner manifester for this week. You're being asked to dream bigger, It's funny that it's right next to see the bigger picture. Because it almost feels like some of you your light is dimming, right? For me, everyone's light is their dreams, their hopes, their ambitions, what they hope to accomplish. And so as life gets far more complicated, that light kind of dims and shrinks and gets smaller until it's squished, right? So, you are being asked to expand your way of thinking right now, which is why see the bigger picture is such an important card here. And know your worth is such an important secondary card, right? So very important this week. Monitor your inner dialogue. Use quantum affirmations. Remember, every word that you say has a vibration, okay? Everything that you utter has an energy. Whatever you put out into the world will come back to you. So if you're, and even on a mental level, your thoughts, they have a frequency. So if this is what you're constantly putting out into the world, unfortunately, I'm sorry to tell you this, your spirit guides love you. There's love everywhere, but your thought process, unfortunately, the energy that you're putting out into the world is not positive. And so what's going to come back to you is negativity. And so this is the reading where, you understand that, right? You move away from that so that you can bring about something new into your life. And for some reason, traveling is a big thing here, right? So, the secondary card is the Traveler. And this is a very interesting card, especially in this reading. So let's see what the Traveler's message to you is. Let travel, education, and communication systems take you and your ideas to the world, or use the same to bring the world to you. My goodness. Group number 3. This card is telling you, that if you are able to do this for this week, you are going to gain more than you know. You're going to gain the world. And so that may seem a little too like, okay, what does that mean, right? I'm going to gain the world. Well, you're going to gain the missing piece that you need to inspire you to move forward, to remind you of your dreams, to remind you of your ambitions, to remind you that there is magic, and that magic is available to us all. And so for some reason, I feel like your routine, the day in, day out, all of these things have unfortunately hindered you to the point where you don't really truly believe, right? You don't believe that these things can happen. And so this is the week where your passion is reignited. And it's going to come through travel. It's going to come through luxury. It's going to come through taking a break. So I think, we've already talked about that, but it's interesting that now we actually have the Traveler's archetype here talking to us directly. Let travel and communication systems take you and your ideas to the world. Wow. Interesting. All right, so we're going to go ahead and throw some tarot. And this is actually a pretty special tarot deck. I love it. It's the Runic Tarot. So we're just going to go ahead and throw 2 cards and see exactly what these cards reveal, shall we? Let's take a look. This week, what's happening? What's coming? Wow, okay. So group number 3, if you were attracted to group number 2, then there might be a message for you there, just because the Queen of Swords came out in the exact same position. So group number 2 might have something to offer you. So if you were drawn to the Dragon Seer Stone and you have some time to watch that group, I advise you to do it, because the Queen of Swords came out in the same position. So anyways, we have here a sense of friendship and relationship building. We start with the 6 of Cups, okay? And we have here a family. Now, this illustration is essentially of 2 people that really care about each other. And then the usual 6 of Cups shows that. That's the illustration. 2 friends coming together and enjoying each other's company. Here, it seems more like a family, and it speaks beautifully because we do have the home, right? It's funny that this card is right next to the home keyword that came out. So your family is important. The people around you are important. It looks like, you're being asked to potentially spend some time with these people. Those relationships are only going to grow, expand, be available for them. Do things on an emotional level for these people. And if you do, it's only going to aid you in your development. And when I mean development, I mean your creations. A lot of your creators, whoever picked this group, inside of you is a writer. Inside of you is a creator. And that creator is the Queen of Swords. She's one of my favorite tarot cards. And one of the reasons why is because she uses her mind to solve any problems in front of her. She is very keen and observing, and she sits in her throne of power, making sure that strategically she is going to be victorious. And so, in many ways, this is the card of someone who is on the road to success, or already successful, already reached that place. This is the card of someone who wants what's best for the world, and is willing to walk the extra mile to obtain it. Queen of Swords is good with her words. She's also very, very intelligent. And so I feel like whatever this week brings, whatever opportunities to travel, whatever opportunities for some time off, potentially time with family. These things are going to help your mental state, your mental clarity, your logical thinking. It's going to help your mind. It's going to help you put the pieces together and see clearly. So for those of you that have or you're facing a problem and you don't know what to do to find the solution to that problem, well, the solution is to walk away from it for this week, spend some time doing something else with family and friends, and once you've done that, the solution to whatever problem you're facing will come to you. That's the promise for the week, the Queen of Swords. All right? So that is what I see here. I want to thank you, seekers, for watching. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Just a quick reminder, I am offering private readings at this time. I've extended the 60% discount on voice readings for winter. So take advantage of that. You will have to go through my Etsy store if you want to place a private reading. The link is going to be in the description below. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. I want to know what you thought about the reading and what you think the reading was trying to tell you, what you learned from it, anything. Just want to hear from you, seekers. If it resonated, let me know. So thank you so much for your love. Thank you so much for your kind words, seekers. I love every single one of you. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day or night wherever you are. Bye-bye.